Check it out, you guys. We have a storm coming. These are some very scary but beautiful clouds. Just a little intimidating, but I can't help but look at it and think how beautiful it is. Just got to make sure I get out there and close up the little greenhouse that's getting ventilated, and make sure that no wind gets in there and wreaks havoc on the little structure. Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, today is April 2nd, and wow, did we have a crazy day yesterday. Terrible storms came through. We had tornado warnings. We were forced to all go down into the basement. And it was going on for several hours. A few areas near us had a lot of wind damage, and I'll tell you, it is a small miracle that we walked away from this with no damage. I stood in the kitchen, I watched the sky turn black, I watched the rain going sideways, I watched it hitting the greenhouse, and thank God we have a manual latch on that little vent roof, because it was in the 70s, which meant it was over 90 degrees in the greenhouse, which would have forced that automatic vent to stay open. Had I not had the ability to go in there and close that when I did, it would have ripped the roof right off of it. It was terrifying. I watched a little bit of rotation pass through our yard. We watched the trees going sideways, and thank God it was over. We got some hail, it was over. We had no damage that we can find. So today is the first day where we're really out here doing yard maintenance, getting things cleaned up, and I thought I would take you for a quick tour of what's going on so you can see how we're starting our year. We still have to start up the new electric lawnmower and get that going. So for now, we use the big gas monster, which I'm really ready to retire. I'm just getting too old for all of this nonsense. But it was a smart move for us to have eliminated as much grass as we did, because it was much easier. So let's go take a walk through the backyard garden and the front lawn so we can look at the projects that we left open last year. And you know, we're really starting the year off running. So let's go for a walk. Super windy today, but look at these beautiful flowers that are coming up. We have lots and lots of daffodils. These beautiful pink hyacinths were here when we moved in. These poor daffodils took a terrible beating yesterday in all the rain, but oh my goodness, it is so windy. So here's the project as we left it late in the year. We did get a chance to come out, do a little bit of tidying up with it, but this is nowhere near done. Over the winter, the deer lunched on all this beautiful, colorful heuchera that we had planted, but I'm happy to report that it is coming back. So this whole area here is going to be a big giant flower bed. It's going to be a woodland walkway in this area here where it's triangular. We just cut that out. We're adding nice soft curves to the lawn so that we can add beneficial flowers in here, alleviate some of the grass, and just make it more aesthetically pleasing so that we can walk up this walkway here before we're at the front. We can either go to the front or we can head around to the back here. Farmer John has taken over trimming duties because this old lady here just cannot handle the trimmer anymore. So look at the beautiful creeping phlox that is waking up. Oh, I just love this time of the year when everything's waking up. But the mess that we have to clean up, it's terrible. This will be a bed of white flowers, absolutely gorgeous. And we're starting to straighten out the walkways and the beds that lead to the greenhouse, which, by the way, I started to mention, the greenhouse has a name. This will be a garden that has a name. It's all very pretty. My little figures have a name. I took the one in, I don't know if you saw in the last video, her name is Lady Everly. She's in the greenhouse because of the wind. This guy here is a boar. has a very special name and a very, very special position here in the garden. So John just started to put this walkway in today. We will be capping off this retaining wall. We have tulips coming up, and then we have all of this grass to manage. So we were just discussing that over time we're going to be eliminating some more of this grass, and we'll be adding patios, and I would love to have a covered pavilion just to make it easier as we work back here in the main vegetable garden area, because we just don't need all of this grass. So when we first moved in here 9 years ago, there was nothing here. There was no shed, there was no patios, no pavers, no nothing. It was a half an acre of grass. And so everything that you see as we walk around and we show you our yard is everything that we did. So it's been 9 years of, hard labor every summer getting it done, but we had a vision, we had a dream, and in spite of the fact that I have a horrendous back injury, we're getting older. It's been hard, but it's been well worth it, because now we have this beautiful garden where we are growing our own food, and I have zero regrets when it comes to this. So plans for this so far over the next few weeks is that we're going to order a couple truckloads full of good garden soil. We'll be doing organic mushroom soil, so we can turn the beds over and mix in this new mushroom soil with the existing soil. It's almost time to plant everything out. We're really excited. Lots more improvements. Back here in the distance is the berry barn. We're going to transfer these strawberries out of the green stalk and get them into the galvanized beds. Beautiful tree in the background. She was barely up to my chin when we bought her 6 years ago, or actually this is going to be her 7th year here. Her name is Lady Hazel. She is a weeping blue Alaskan. So yeah, lots of things going on back here in the yard, and it's just been another busy day. So this monstrous machine here, I'll tell you, this is my broom. She didn't let me down this year. She started right up. This is a 33-inch deck machine. It is a beast. It pulls you, like I said, it's my broom. You'll dangle behind it. It'll run you into a fence if you don't know how to steer. It's a very, very large piece of equipment to handle in an upright position. But when you have a bad back, you don't really have too much of a choice, because sitting on equipment is very damaging to your spine, and it's just easier to walk and keep your core strong and get something like this going. But like I said, we're getting ready to retire her, and we'll be moving on to electric equipment so that we can we'll have less need for gas operated equipment as we reduce all this entire area of grass. And a quick update on all of the tulips that John spent hours and hours out here on his hands and knees planting. These were all from bags from Costco that we bought late in the year. Look at the pretty colors. This one here has, some beautiful green and pink striation, really gorgeous. I love looking down and just seeing these little peaks of color coming out. And we're going to get this fertilized today so that as they come up over the next month, we'll just have this beautiful little necklace of flowers that goes along the walkway, very inviting. And all of this area here is about to get totally changed. So today we are working on the notion of how we will be building a step here. And I haven't completely worked it out yet. It's going to be an actual big top step where we come off of the main walkway. We're going to level this out, and then it will just, here's my feet, step down, and then we'll be in this beautiful area of mosaic stone that will, this just got laid, and all this gravel just got laid, so everything is really muddy right now. But when it's all clean, you'll see how all of the color comes out. So this will lead to a step up, and it'll just be an easy walk out here. Step up, and then we're on the main pathway. Lots of projects. So we left this last year in very bad state because it just got cold so quick. We had weeds everywhere. We had wires that we started pulling up. We had to change out our landscape lights, rusted out on us. So wait till you see the transformation though, guys, because I hope you're going to stay with us because a lot happens out here in the springtime. So if you go through our videos, you'll see that this whole area behind me is a beautiful daylily bed. And there's so much that changes around here in color and flowers. And around the pond, we have black-eyed Susans and coneflowers, and the birds all come. We did some videos of just filming the birds that come and land at the pond, and they bathe in the waterfall. And it's just really a peaceful place. So, and in the back here, we installed those really nice galvanized beds that we got from Amazon, and I'll be doing a review on those. So late last year, we expanded this whole area into a pea gravel bed so that we could expand and have more tomato beds. So this area is going to be more tomato beds. We have the little cottage garden area over here where we have cherry tomatoes and our basil bed. There's just so much planning to go on. I mean, I don't even really know where to begin with the planning tour. All kinds of flowers are about to come up, so I'm just looking forward to all of it. It's just going to be a beautiful, colorful year for us. Hey, fishies! Hi, guys! Wait for some food. All right, guys. I'll give you some food. We have so much cleaning up to do here. It's amazing how the weeds set in, and spring cleanup is never fun. So yeah, so these are going to be the new beds that are going to be, we're going to show you how we build our tomato trellises that will go in here. This variety these beds will be for the varieties that I'm starting new this year for the first time. I'm doing Thornburns Terracotta, Black Beauty. There you go. I thought it would be easier to turn you around. Those beds back there will be Thornburns Terracotta, Black Beauty, Dr. Witchy's, and I think I'm going to do the Kellogg's Breakfast on this side. Just to make it have a different advantage, because they're going to be oriented from front to back, where our main beds back here run side to side or east to west, where these beds are going to run more north to south. And I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I want to see which level of exposure will offer the best benefits for letting them shade themselves, how the wind impacts them, and so on. I mean, right now when we get westerly winds, they really do encompass the yard. I mean, we've come out here and had our tomatoes staked up and perfectly tight. We'll get a wind that will come through, and then before you know it, everything's just wrapped up and tied into knots, and our tomatoes are a mess. So we don't know if changing the orientation of that will actually benefit the results of a storm coming through. But I'll tell you, yesterday was a real eye-opener, and it made me wonder, you know, am I doing the right thing every year? You just don't really know. With the way the earth is changing, the storms are coming from different directions. I really do believe that what we got yesterday was just a taste of the future. And I hate to be a fearmonger, but you know, obviously we don't really get storms here at this early in the year to the magnitude that we had yesterday. And with the way last year was with the droughts and the storms that we saw then, I was saying last year that we are basically in a tornado zone at this point. They have not really officially said that, but we expect tornadoes every year, several times a year. And watching the maps yesterday, it seems like the Midwest, or not even the Midwest, that, you know, the middle part of America, from Texas over to Arkansas and on up through Missouri and now into Illinois. Again, you guys are in the path of these storms, and it's several times a week. And I don't know what we can do as growers to try to, I don't think there's anything we can do. I mean, if the earth is going to, you know, send us storms, and all we can really do is hunker down. And like I was saying yesterday about learning to ride with the waves and go with the flow,
Maybe there's some way we can figure out. Maybe it's going to teach us how to be better gardeners and how to better secure our beds, how to better secure structures if you're growing, you know, tomatoes and things that need to be tied down as we're building these structures. You know, the one thing I have no regrets of is the way we went above and beyond to over-engineer the structure and foundation for that greenhouse, because I am convinced, yes, as of yesterday, had we not taken those measures to tie that greenhouse down, it would have been at a minimum in the neighbor's yard. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do, guys. We got to think twice before we do all this stuff so that we're not wasting our time and that we can utilize our resources and make sure that the fruits of our efforts are not in vain. So anyway, you guys, that was just a quick recap of what's going on here in our backyard garden. Everything that we're doing in a day, and all the projects that just keep us consumed as gardeners and as homeowners and as an aging couple. We're doing our very best to stay on top of it. We're doing our best to stay young and be able to come out here and be mobile. And there is a new project that's in the wings. I should have showed you this earlier, but I'm going to turn the camera around, let you see. We got our first real cattle panels. I'll touch on that in the next video. See you in the next video.